The first time I voted was back in 2008.
It was when John F. Kennedy was running for president.
I had turned 18 the Monday before Election Day.
I'm from the generation when we were 18, we were not allowed to vote.
Now, if I tell you the first election, you'll guess my age.
I registered to vote over here in Cupertino at the little community center off of Homestead in Hollenbeck.
It's so important to vote because it's really how we exercise our voice in this democracy.
It's one way of getting your voice heard, and believe you me, I'm going to have my voice heard.
Being part of a mixed home where some of us only have a green card, some of us are citizens, some of us lived in Mexico and came back, and all, within a nuclear immediate family. I think the importance of being able to have voice, not just for me, but for my family when they couldn't vote, makes it even more important.
My mom impressed upon me how important it was to vote because, number one, her mother had come from Japan and for a lot of different reasons was not eligible to vote.
When I was born, we weren't even, African Americans weren't allowed to vote, and it wasn't that long ago. People really think it's 100 years ago. It was only about 50, 52 years ago. I have to realize that so many people died and so many people fought for us to have that right.
My mom ran for mayor of San Francisco in 1959, and on her platform, she wanted to have a 40-hour work week, which is now the norm, right? And when I see that happen in my lifetime, I know voting is important because we can create change.
I serve on the city council in East Palo Alto, and I was involved in a movement to become a city. We became a city by 15 votes.
There are several ways we should get our students to vote. I think that on campus there are going to be several initiatives that we're launching through our Vasconcelos Institute for Democracy in Action and through our classes in political science, is to get our students out and involved in campaigns. And we're also going to be having various initiatives come through to try to get students registered to vote and to get them to actually show up to the polls.
So I think if you talk to the students in a way that about those things that actually matter to them, you're going to get them to vote.
It's important for students to know that voting is relevant for them. What's decided on a local, statewide, national, or global level affects them.
I think there's a lot of apathy. If the student government's important, just like the big elections, you'll stimulate people in voting.
I belong to a national sorority. We go out there and we tell our youth to go out there and vote.
If students hear from other students that they should vote and why it's important to vote, then that could be really effective.
There are students on campus, say international students or students who are not citizens, who they feel not connected to the political process. But I think that even if they can't vote, there are many opportunities for students to get involved, whether it's through service learning, whether it's through working on campaigns, whether it's if they have something to contribute, time, money, that they can get involved in other ways. And so I don't want students to think that voting is the only way to get involved.
What I did was I would talk to some of my peers and friends and ask them, like, what type of things do you want to see changed, right? And they would go down the list of the different things that they'd like to see happen, and I'd end with, well, if you want that to happen, you have to make your voice heard. You have to go in to the polls and you have to vote.